Did a little self-care moon cycle Target haul. I want to make myself as comfortable as I can be during my period. I picked up a few of my comfort foods. Certain foods that you eat during your period can actually make your cramps a lot worse, which is something that I'm going to try to avoid, because although this is like a very draining period, it really gives me time to like rest and relax and just be with myself. But I still want to have my comfort foods, so I try to just do a little bit healthier. So when I'm on my period, personally, I crave salt and sugar, so love these. My favorite, sweet chili pistachios and some non-dairy Ben & Jerry's. I got Netflixed and chilled and half-baked with peanut butter. And then they had so many cute fall candles, and Halloween is my favorite season of the year, and my apartment is obviously 50 Shades of Orange. I wanted to cozy up my apartment. It smells heavenly. It seriously is so hard for me to not buy all of the fall things right now because I'm moving soon, but a good candle, can't resist. I burn candles every day. I use them in my practice, so I'm gonna be spending a lot of time in my bed this week, and as you can see, it is very messy. I didn't make my bed this morning because, one, I felt like shit, and two, I really want to sleep on some clean sheets and a comforter tonight. I'm just gonna do a quick load of my white laundry and then get cozied on up for the night.
You are so cute. Really chomping away there, Cud. My cramps are literally debilitating today. It is my second day, and my period has been changing a lot over the last year since I really started to be more conscious of my cycle and change the products I'm using. But I'm getting a lash fill right now, so I'm on my way there. But it's literally 2:30 right now, and I spent the entire morning literally just laying in bed, stretching, wailing in pain. They're just so bad today. So I'm gonna go do this and then literally lay in bed until I start to feel better.
When you come around, the world stops turning. When you're feeling down, I'm also hurt. Your seven sentimental guess you might be right.
Even though for a lot of us, our periods are kind of a really dreadful part of our existence and of the time of the month, it can also be a very spiritual experience, and that is what I've really been working on for the last year. Today is the full moon in Pisces, and I currently bleed with the full moon. At this time last year, I was going through a major life change, and I was bleeding with the new moon, which was very on brand. They are the same amount of time, and women are obviously feminine, divine feminine, and the moon is also represented by divine femininity. Full moons are a time to release, so for me, I feel like that is also very much a time for me to release and kind of go inward and see what areas of my life aren't working for me anymore. But alternatively, if you bleed with the new moon, it's still very much related because the new moon is new beginnings, and when you're bleeding with the new moon, you know, these cycles are ending, you're releasing all of this, and you get to kind of see what the next steps are. So that is one way to look at it. Another thing that I learned is from Hitomi. I saw her say in one of her period videos that she really sets her intention for, with this bleed, I release my old partners from my womb. That is an intention that I set yesterday, and I think that that is part of the reason why my cramps were so bad. My body and my womb was trying to release those old partners. Your cycle can also be a very creative time. You might have seen me use this in a few different videos. This is actually a tool that I made randomly while I was on my period, on my moon cycle. And it's just a little tool that I use to move energy around. I use it to blow my smoke around when I'm cleansing. It has a tiger's eye in it and ostrich feathers. So little things like that that you feel called to create when you are going through your cycle is also a really fun thing to do. Last night I made a painting on my iPad, which I have not drawn anything in a really long time. This is how it turned out, really simple. I just saw a reel of someone put their iPad in grayscale and pick a random palette, and this is how it came out. Yeah, this is a really good time for me personally to be creative, and it doesn't have to be that you're an artist or anything, but channeling that creative energy while you are on your cycle is a really powerful and gratifying thing to do. I have a lot more energy now than I've had for the past 2 days. It is day 3 of my period, and what better thing to do to release on a full moon than to clean and reset, because this is my reality right now. My bedroom floor is kind of non-existent right now, so I'm gonna do that and take care of some things. I thought this would be a good time to talk about women's health and the health of your yoni. And the reason that I say yoni or coochie now is because vagina is actually derived from a word that means sword. And I don't think that that makes any sense because the yoni isn't violent, it's not shaped like a sword, so I will be referring to it as yoni or coochie. Let's talk about UTIs, BV, and yeast infections. First off, do not ever let anyone make you feel bad about having these things. They are perfectly normal, especially if it's coming from a male partner, because a lot of times our male partners are actually the cause of these infections that we have down there. We have very sensitive pH levels. We have more openings into our body, which makes it a lot easier for us to get infections like that. So sometimes you get UTIs from having sex with a male partner and not peeing afterwards. And the reason that peeing after will kind of mitigate you getting a UTI is because urine is sterile, so it flushes out any bacteria that may have gotten into the urethra while you were having sex. I know a lot of people don't know that you don't pee and have sex out of the same hole. You actually have 2 of them down there. It can be also a sign of infidelity if you've been with the same partner for a while, but please take that with a grain of salt because that is not always the case. There are many causes to UTIs, yeast infections, and BV. If you have a long-term partner and you are getting these different types of infections pretty often, I think it would be time to have a conversation with your partner and talk about their hygiene. Whenever you are having an intimate time with your partner, make sure they wash their hands, make sure they are showering before doing any kind of penetrative action down there. I haven't used pads or tampons in almost a year now, and I have noticed a huge difference in my period since I started using different products. This is what I currently use. It is called a menstrual disc. So you basically put this in like a tampon. You put it in vertically, but then when it's all the way in, you just push it behind your pubic bone. And you can watch a YouTube video that explains this probably better than I do, but you can sleep with this. There's no risk of toxic shock syndrome. It empties itself out when you pee, and it can hold up to 30 milliliters. So this one is reusable. I got this one from Flex. This one is from Soft Disc. These are wet because I just washed them, but this is a disposable one. If you're not sure if you'll like this, it definitely takes some getting used to for the first couple of days. It's not uncomfortable. It shouldn't hurt. You can feel it, kind of like you can feel a tampon, but it doesn't hurt. And this is a really good way to try it out. They sell these at Target in a 12 pack, and I don't see why you couldn't reuse one of these if you just wash it out. I mean, it's not gonna last you for months and months. Tampons and pads have chlorine and all kinds of really harmful chemicals that can actually make your period last longer, and I'm gonna go on a whim and say that they do this on purpose so that you have to buy more of their product. But this reusable cup is $34. You buy it once and it's supposed to last you at least a year. It's really comfortable. There's one ingredient and it is 100% medical grade silicone. It's very different than a Diva cup, and I think that this would be like a good introduction if you have never tried a Diva cup. And if you don't want anything inside of you, I would highly, highly, highly recommend getting on Etsy and getting some reusable handmade pads that don't have any other ingredients in them, because like even pads and the period underwear still have those bleaches and chlorines in them, even if you're getting organic tampons. Thank you guys so much for watching and tuning in with me for this moon cycle. I love you all so much, and I hope that you learned something from today's video. And as always, if you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to give it a like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.